Welcome to āvām, a website dedicated to the study of Sanskrit. Over the next couple of years, I plan to upload around 50 or so lessons here on Sanskrit. This is the first such lesson. If you have any doubts or questions on pronunciation or grammar, please go back to the website and you can see a full set of references given there. I hope you enjoy this series of courses. Welcome to āvām. Let us start with a simple sentence. Rama Krishnam Pashyati. The first thing to note here is the word order. In Sanskrit, the normal word order is subject, object, verb. This is similar to the other Indian languages like Hindi. However, in English, the word order is subject, verb, object. So in Sanskrit, we are actually saying Rama Krishna sees. The second thing to note is how subject and object are determined in Sanskrit. In English, who sees whom is determined by the position of the word in the sentence. From the sentence, Rama sees Krishna, we know that it is Rama who is doing the seeing and it is Krishna who is being seen. In Sanskrit, the subject and object of a sentence is rendered differently. Rama, when rendered as a subject, becomes Rama. Similarly, Krishna, when used as an object, becomes Krishnam. So even if we said Krishnam Rama Pashyati, the meaning would not change. It would still mean Rama sees Krishna. If we wanted to say Krishna sees Rama, we would say Krishna Ramam Pashyati. The third thing to note is Sandhi. In Sanskrit, word sounds change according to the environment in which they occur. Both vowels and consonants are subject to this change. This is true of other languages also. In English, A becomes an in front of a vowel sound. In this lesson, we will learn two sandhis of Sanskrit. Final is and ir become the visarga at the end of a word. Final in front of another word becomes anaswara indicated by a dot on top of the last syllable. So Rama is actually Ramas. It becomes Rama in sandhi. There may be further modifications of this final s in other environments. In front of ka and similar sounds also s becomes the visarga. At the end of standalone words, final ir also becomes a visarga. But the number of words ending in ir are very few. We will further develop on this and other sandhis in later courses. For the pronunciation of the visarga and anuswara, please refer to the reference section of the website. The visarga is pronounced as a voiceless h and is articulated at the tongue position of the previous vowel. So Rama, Hari, Guru, etc. The anuswara is pronounced as a nasal of the class of the following mute. Ink, inch, int, int, imp, etc. Therefore, before labials it retains its old sound and also before vowels it retains the sound The last thing to note is the verb. In Sanskrit, all words are derived from basic elements called roots, indicated with a square root sign in the beginning. This is only a convention. These roots are normally single syllable entities. For example, the word Rama is derived from the root Ram, which means to be content, to delight, etc., through a series of modifications. We will learn about this through later lessons. Similarly, the word Ayana is derived from the root E through a series of modifications. The root is also used to generate verb stems to which personal endings are added to form the complete verb as it is used in a sentence. In our example, the verb pashyati is derived from the root pash by adding ya to form the verb stem pashya. To this stem is added the personal ending ti. Roots have been divided into 10 different classes by Sanskrit grammarians. Each class of root undergoes a different modification to create the verb stem. The root pash is of class 4. Roots of this class add a ya to the unchanged root before adding the personal ending. We will discuss all other root classes through the coming lessons. Let us now discuss conjugation. Conjugation is the variation of the form of a verb in an inflected language like Sanskrit, by which the voice, mood, tense, number, and the person are identified. In English, there are only two forms, see and sees. The personal ending added to the stem pashya is ti in this case. Ti is the personal ending for the third person singular subjects like Rama for the present indicative active verb. The other endings are given here. So you can see here the endings for the singular, dual and plural of the third person, second person and the first person. So when Rama sees Krishna, we say Rama Krishnam Pashyati. However, if two Ramas were seeing Krishna, we would use the form Pashyata. If more than two Ramas were seeing Krishna, we would use the form Pashyanti. These are what are called the third person endings. We should keep in mind that the subject endings also change to indicate the two Ramas, dual Ramau, or more than two Ramas, plural Rama. We will learn more about this in subsequent lessons. The second person endings are used when you want to say you see Krishna. Tvam Krishnam Pashyasi. You both see Krishna. Yuvam Krishnam Pashyatha. Or you all see Krishna. Yuyam Krishnam Pashyatha. The words Tvam, Yuvam and Yuyam are subject forms of you, you two and you all respectively. We will learn more about these forms in later chapters. One thing of interest you would have noticed is that when it comes to the second person, the verb ending and the subject gives redundant information. The form Pashyasi is used only with Tvam. The same goes for the other two. So the subject is most of the times dropped in normal usage. It is used only if emphasis is needed. So you see Krishna, Krishnam Pashyasi. You too see Krishna, Krishnam Pashyatha. Or you all see Krishna, Krishnam Pashyatha. These forms would convey sufficient information. The first person endings are used when you want to say I see Krishna, Aham Krishnam Pashyami. We both see Krishna, āvām Krishnam Pashyavah. We all see Krishna, Vayam Krishnam Pashyamah. The words Aham, āvām and Vayam are the subject forms of I, we two and we all respectively. We will learn more about these forms in later chapters. As in the case of the second person, the subject is dropped in normal usage. One thing you would have noticed about the verb forms of the first person is that the final vowel of the stem is lengthened before adding the endings. Pashyami rather than pashyami. This is peculiar to the first person. Another thing to note is that the third person plural ending used here is inti, not anti. The normal ending is anti. Other verbs coming from other classes form their verb stems in their own fashions and then add the same endings to get their conjugations. We will learn about how verb stems of other classes are generated in subsequent lessons. A few other verb stems are jaya, wins, vanquishes, gacha, goes, tishtha, stands, etc. The forms of jaya are given here. The set of personal endings mentioned here is what is called the active voice endings. There is another set of endings called the middle voice endings, conveying similar meanings to the verbs. Some roots take only the active endings, while some take only the middle endings. Many take both to give different shades of meanings. The active voice form is called parasmai padam, meaning a word for another, and the middle one is called atmane padam, meaning a word for oneself. The terms are really best understood as transitive and reflexive. The different tenses and moods of Sanskrit verbs are called lagaras by Sanskrit grammarians. The present indicative tense is called lat. In subsequent lessons, we will learn other tenses and moods or other lagaras. A couple of things to note. Verb conjugation is gender independent, unlike in languages like Hindi, Tamil, etc. In Hindi, you would say Ram gaya, Sita gayi. The other thing to note is that verb conjugation always agrees with the subject, unlike in Hindi, where sometimes the verb agrees with the object rather than the subject. In Hindi, you would say, Ram mujhe 100 rupaye deta hai, but Ram ne mujhe 100 rupaye diye. This is the end of the first lesson. We looked at a sentence and from that understood that the normal word order in Sanskrit is subject, object, verb. But since Sanskrit is an inflected language, the subject of the sentence or the object of a sentence is indicated by the form of the noun, so the word order may not be very critical. We took an early look at Sandhi and discovered the Visarga and the Anuswara. We had an introductory look at roots and said that all words in Sanskrit are derived from roots. We also said that there are 10 classes of roots and verb stems are derived from this by various different roots. We took an example of a class 4 root and saw how the verb stem was derived from this. We looked at the full conjugation of the present indicative active of a class 4 verb. We found that conjugation is gender independent and always in grammatical agreement with the subject. I have given some exercises against this lesson in the website. Please do these exercises. Please refer to a dictionary for words that you don't understand. One word of advice. While doing the exercises, read out each word loudly. This will help you stabilize your pronunciation and also to remember some of the topics introduced.